Today is January 29th. It is 12, about to be 1 a.m. I literally just got back from Ecuador and I'm already thinking about books. I believe I have like 2-3 days left until the new month, which is when I have to do my new TBR. These are the books that I did not yet finish. That is completely my mistake. This book I was supposed to carry with me. I had brought the third book instead of this book, which is the second. So I am behind. I'm probably not gonna finish these three in 3 days. Whoops. My plan is for, in the morning when, transportation is running at a more decent hour, I'm going to get book 2 for City of Brass and maybe book 2 for Bewitched. As much as I thought it was an okay read, I am intrigued to find out more. Plus it was, easy to kind of glide through. The first thing that I'm doing, I didn't even unpack my things yet. The first thing I did was look at my books. I want to get started on what my new TBR is going to be. I'm going to get started early. So the first thing that I'm going to add is Thrice Married to a Salted Fish. I finished the other one, Wife Comes First, and I think this is going to be of the same vibe but better. The Wife Comes First was good, but it was okay. It wasn't spectacular. It was okay. This is kind of like the same plot, but hopefully better. That's gonna be 1 out of 8. Honestly speaking, I'm probably, like I said, I'm not gonna finish all of these 3 probably. Let's see, I'll probably finish 1. I'll just put 2 there. Right, so that's 3 out of the 8. I'm gonna do where whatever book I don't finish, it's going to be added into the new TBR just to kind of make me want to finish, because the point of these TBRs is that I want to read them, but because I didn't finish what I had before, it takes away from a spot of something else that I could have read. The next thing that I'm going to add, this one, The Shadow of What Was Lost. I'm not going to do the full 8 now because I want to add book 2 from the City of Brass. That makes 4. Do I want anything from here? Let's do Jade City. Oh, oof. That's 5. I've been wanting to add this one. And then this is gonna be 6. Oh man, I really didn't make a dent in this. That's such a shame. I wanted to add Blood Marked and Iron Flame, but I guess that's just not in the cards for me today. I have these books here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna leave 7, 8 for City of Brass book 2. And I'll be back later on today, I guess, with an update. And I'll just keep on reading. Ciao. Hey, so remember when I was like, yeah, I made my TBR and stuff? So we're February 10th. We're halfway into the month already, and I did not follow that TBR at all. So I kind of went on a book spree. Yo, it's so funny how it's 3 separate videos, low-key happening at the same yet separate time, and how they're merging into each other. So anyway, I went on a book haul, a very big one, and because of how big it is, I wanted to get to those books first, because that way if there's a book that I didn't want or wasn't interested in, I'd still have time to return it. So literally I've only been reading books from that book haul, so that's gonna be what my TBR is. I already made my TBR for March in April. So we're gonna go over the books that I've already read for February, and then the books that I will be reading for the rest of February. If you see another video that comes up with me looking exactly the same, it's because it was filmed in the same day. I plan on filming the 7 Donmays in 7 days and January wrap up because January is over. All right, scene change. So it has been a bit of time and my memory is not that good, so I do have my handy dandy reading journal just in case I forget something. Starting off with the first book of the year was Divine Rivals. I gave this book 5 stars. I don't know if I'm gonna change it to a 4.75 or 4.5. It's just, when I really think about what makes a 5-star book, it's really hard. It's difficult because at the end of the day, it's literally your own opinion, but you want it to be accurate. You want it to be right. You want it to be the right opinion. And I don't want to inflate my opinion. I don't know. It's so weird. Who cares? It's my opinion. If I think it's a great book, then it's a great book. It's weird. It's I want to give it 5 stars, but then I'm also kind of don't. I think it's a great book. It was amazing. I had an amazing time with it. I love how realistic it was in a sense, and I loved the female lead as a character. She wasn't annoying. She was independent without being annoying, and that's really hard. In the Crave series, Grace is so independent in the most annoying, insufferable way imaginable. I don't even remember her name. Iris was amazing. The hardships that she went through, the wording of it was just impeccable. I just really enjoyed this book. I think when I do the wrap up and I do like a full breakdown of the book, then I'll like actually go into like what's in it. I enjoyed it. I had a great time and I rated it 5 stars. So moving on. I was supposed to finish this in the January TBR and I did not. When I came back from Ecuador, I just didn't read it. That's literally what it is. I just didn't read it. I tried to finish it the day before and actually no, that's not what happened. I did start reading it, but I just didn't finish it. I literally finished it around like 12 a.m. February 1st, so it had to count towards February. So this kind of like bleeds into that a little bit. The Shepherd King series is a good series. It's only 2 books, so it's a duology. I gave the first book 4 stars, and I touched a little bit on my feelings in the January checkup, which I didn't finish filming, which I'm probably gonna film after this video. Oddly enough, I really enjoyed the first book, but I didn't enjoy the second as much. And I seem to be the only one with that opinion because everybody loves it all together. I enjoyed the book. It's a good book. I think it was just the romance that threw it off for me. I think it might have been because I read it back to back. I don't know what it was, but I just could not get into the romance that was going on between the new leads. I wasn't interested, but I enjoyed the story. The story was great. The ending was a solid ending. It's complete, you know, it's completed, and that's the most you can ask for in a story. That the ending is satisfying, and the ending was satisfying. Think. Moving on, we have, I believe, Guild. Oh, or hold on. We also have the books that I plan on returning. I don't remember which was first or next. I think Guild. After realizing that this was not the book people were talking about, it was this book, I got to work. I got the book. I read the book. I liked the book. I think I would give it a 4 stars. And it's weird, like the way that it's written, it feels so like generic, almost like YA, almost like kiddish, and I think it kind of like goes in tandem with how her mindset is. I just didn't like how it's like a dark fantasy, and yet it felt like the author was protecting the main character because they're not afraid to kill off characters that have bad things happen, but it just felt convenient when it didn't happen to her. There was like a few things that bothered me, like her ribbons can move and she was thinking about using it when she was getting assaulted by the Queen's Guard, but she didn't think about using it when she literally had it like a man had his knife to her throat to murder her. She didn't think to use her ribbons then. She can, oh, spoiler alert, she could turn people into gold, and she didn't think to use that when she was about to die. But she's about to get assaulted and she's like, oh, I'm just turn you into gold. There was people in both circumstances. The only difference is that you were in mortal danger. There's no way I could word this correctly. It sounds bad. It's literally, and then it's like she waited until the act was done before she did anything. Like she could have been turned that man into gold and avoided any of that happening to, what's her freaking name? Risa or whatever her name is. So that was that. Once again, I'll save my full recap for February wrap up. That was Guild. I loved it. In fact, I went back when I returned one of the books in the book haul, because I returned one already actually. I used that money to get the next book. You see it here? Wait, where is it? Oh no, it's in the next TBR. It's right there. You guys see it? It's right there. You see the what? Yeah, you guys see it. Come on, y'all not blind. Don't play with me right now. I do plan on reading the next book. Oh, and in case I didn't say, for the Shepherd King, 2 Twisted Crowns, I gave the second book 3.75. Personally, I feel like it was like a 3.5, which is good. Objectively, I would say it's a 4. Just to like round it off, I did a 3.75. Just so I could still be honest and true to myself. The next book that I had read was Fallen Gods. And at first I was like, it was cool, it's not that bad. But the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, this book kind of sucked. And it's weird because that feels like such a harsh thing to say. Like I read the whole book until I wasn't reading it anymore. I just started skimming. Like I'll be honest with you, like the last 50 pages I kind of just skimmed, and I'm not a skimmer. Like sometimes I am a skimmer, but those are for like light novels, web novels. Some of those are kind of like meant to be skimmed. Like you're still fine if you skim all the extra wordy stuff because you get the gist of it. The premise I feel was so interesting, and there were moments where there was like banter that I enjoyed, and I loved the little brother a lot. I forgot what his English name was, but Reeve. I loved Reeve a lot. Like I just love a witty, banterful, funny character, and that was Reeve in this book. Spoiler alert, he ends up being Loki. And I feel like the premise of this book was so interesting. It's from, I think, Norse mythology, and the main character, she's the daughter of Odin, and he kind of like does this thing where like he gets rid of the memories of all the giants and gods, and he needs to get the hammer back from Thor, and there's like this plot twist, and he sends her in, but Odin's like also a really shitty guy who's hurting her stepmother and also hurting her best friend and also hurting her, and so she's trying to get this so that it's all good. And the premise was so interesting, but the way that it was told, the way that it was written just was not it. It didn't execute it. It didn't execute it well at all. And I think something that was executed well was this book, The 13th Child, but we're not there yet. I gave it a 3, but I'm honestly planning on demoting it to a 2.5 because I'm obviously going to be returning this book. I'm not keeping this book. I really thought to myself, I spent money on this book. Do I want this book on my shelf? I would never. I don't plan on reading this ever again. And there's gonna be a part 2 probably if it does well enough. And it's such a pretty book. I thought to myself, I spent $32 on an okay book. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. So it's going back. There was just like things, I feel like scene changes that just didn't make sense to me. How you would just jump to one thing to the next in certain extremes that kind of just seemed random, and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it. So yeah, I did finish this book, and I'm wondering if I should have even bothered doing that, because once I got to the part where I was kind of bored and I just kept reading, like forcing myself to read, I'm like, okay, maybe I should have DNF'd it. I have one tab here. I've been trying to tab more so that when I do the reviews, I know what I'm talking about, so it's easier, not just the top of my dome, because obviously I'm gonna forget things. And it's purple tab. So purple means a quote that I really liked. It means nothing. It means nothing. I keep lying to myself even as I give in, crawl in beside her and pull her against me. Because when I say nothing, I mean everything. She means everything. That, I really enjoyed that. That made me smile. And I'm now removing the tab because I'm returning this book. And it's okay because the tab was messed up anyway, so it needed to go. And then literally right after that one, okay, would be this book, The 13th Child. This was giving me 5-star vibes. I think I gave it like a 4.5 or 4.5, 4.75. I really like this book, and maybe I should give it 5 stars because I enjoyed this book, but I'm not feeling, that's the thing. It's like in my head, I'm like, you should give it 5 stars, but like my heart is telling me no, you know? Or is it my heart saying 5 and my mind is telling me no? I don't know. There's some mismatch here in my head and my heart where it's like 5 stars, but then it's also not 5 stars. It's really weird. I just really enjoyed this book. Normally I read pretty fast, but this one, it took me a little bit of time. The premise was really interesting. I really liked the world. This is a standalone too, so everything that needed to happen happened. It didn't feel rushed until kind of like the end, sort of. I do realize that in a lot of fantasy novels in general, the ending kind of just happens. Instead, it kind of happened here too. It builds up what's gonna happen, and then it just happens, and then boom, the end. The odd thing about it is that what I didn't like wasn't the book. I didn't like the characters. Some of the things that they did, but that's part of what made me like the book, because that's human nature. You know, that's human. You're not always going to like the choices that someone makes, the decisions that they have, the thoughts that they have, the way they react to something. And that's how I felt. And so I liked that I didn't like things. Humans are imperfect. You made stupid decisions. You say stupid things. You let things pass by even though deep down you don't want to. You lose people, you gain people. It was really a good book. So that is The 13th Child by Erin Craig. I would recommend this book to you. If you do want to take something away from this video as a recommendation, I would say this one. And then a mainstream recommendation would definitely be Divine Rivals, definitely. This is the most recent book that I finished. I DNF'd it. I have only officially DNF'd 2 books in my life. It's officially DNF'd when I return it. Because even if I don't like it, if I bought it and it passed the return date, I have it, so I might as well read it. That's how I am with ACOTAR. I'm gonna try and finish it because everybody loves it. So I'm just gonna power through just so that I have a right to judge it. Because I feel like if you don't read it, what right do you have to give your opinion on it? And I say that as I'm literally about to give my opinion on a book that I DNF'd. This book is called The Half King. Once again, another book that is beautiful and where the premise is interesting. So essentially what this is about is there's a goddess and there's these families, these noble families who ganged up and tried to kill the goddess, and as punishment she gives them curses. And the way that this is such a pretty book. Hopefully it feels good. Is that pretty? Oh, hopefully I liked it. The firstborn in each of the noble families have a curse. So one of them is to be dangerously, enchanting or beautiful. Another is the power of knowledge, but it's like overwhelming knowledge, like the knowledge of the universe that can make you go demented. In this case, for the king of the nation, his curse is that in the night, he disappears into the shadows, and in the day, that's when he reappears. As he gets older, he'll stay longer in the shadows until eventually he's gone, which is roughly when they turn 20 to 21. 20 is when they become adults. There's seers, there's healers, there's magic in the world. And I'm reading and I'm trying to get into it because, like I said, the premise is really interesting. The story is something that I would like. I just don't think it was written or executed to my liking. I only got 46 pages in, and then after that I literally just started like not even skimming, just like kind of like speed reading pages just to get the gist of what happened and what was going on. Then I was like, oh yeah, this book is not for me, because sometimes books can hit a slow patch, and so I try to like read ahead or catch a line that'll make me want to get to that point. I'll be like, oh my gosh, that is so interesting, I want to get to this, and then I'll get there and it'll get me to keep reading. That did not happen with this book at all. I just genuinely could not read it. I was just sitting there on the couch next to my mom and I said, I can't do this. I can't read this. This is going back to the store. I'm returning this book. I didn't want it. It was like boring. I get the gist of the book because, like I said, I skimmed. I saw what happened basically. Even then, it's like, oh no, she did. And I'll be honest, it feels a little bad because I like to finish books, even if I'm not a big fan of them. No, I don't. There's so many books on my shelves that I've just left there because I didn't want to touch it again. Like, oh my gosh, Daughter of the Pirate King, I don't know how I got through that first book. I cannot for the life of me get through that second book. It's been years. Oh gosh. So yeah, I'm saving myself the stress and I am unhauling this book. The next book that I am currently reading is called, I literally just started it today. I'm on page 29 now, called Conform. This is a dystopian and it is by Ariel Sullivan. I think I'm gonna like this book. I don't know if it'll be a 4-star or a 5-star, but I am enjoying this book so far. It kind of reminds me of, The Uglies, where, you are ugly until you're a certain age and then you become a pretty, but the pretties are actually like brainwashing people and stuff. So that's kind of like what this is, only I think it's less appearance-based. I mean, they make it appearance-based, but I think it's generally less appearance-based. So you have some name that they use, some fantasy name, and then you have the defects. Most of the defects are not physical. There are a few physical defects, so you could be like missing an arm, or in our main character's case, she's heterochromic, and there's like a mating system. So the men pick one of the defected women to mate. Like, does that make any sense to you? Like, if you're segregating that bad between defected and perfect human beings, why would you procreate with the defective beings? Does that make sense? I don't know. I mean, I'm only 20 pages in. I'm still finding out more stuff, but essentially our main character finally gets up there to the perfects because she's been chosen to mate with a perfect. And yeah, that's it's definitely something. You could definitely see how messed up the society is, and there's definitely going to be a revolution. Oh, this is cool. Do you see how this book is like? You see like how it's divided? You see it, right? That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try and finish this by Wednesday, and then hopefully by then I can get to this. I'm gonna try and finish this in one day, and then after that I am going to be away, drumroll please, in Turkey. Yeah, that's right. So I have my Turkey TBR, which is gonna be the February TBR. These are the books that I plan on reading in Turkey. Oh, by the way, book-wise, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This book is going to be 7. You know what? Why do I feel like Divine Rivals isn't in February, that it's in January? Let me just check my journal and make sure. Oh, Divine Rivals is part of my January TBR. It was one of the books that I read in January. Whoopsie. And that was why I didn't finish Two Twisted Crowns in time, because I read Divine Rivals instead. Whoopsie. So technically that book should not be here. Whoops. I already talked about it, so I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, so actually 5 books. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 books. Okay, so 4 books. Conform is the 5th, so that's for the TBR. And then we're gonna try and do Paranasi. So that's 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. As if I'll read it, I don't know. And then this is what I plan on reading for Turkey. Can you see it? Yeah, so that's 5 right there. 6 right there, yeah. So basically I'm going away for 10 days, but when I'm on vacation, there's something in me that like just makes me read super duper fast. Last time, I finished all of them, which was in Ecuador, and I was so bored that I didn't have any more books to read. So now I brought thick books and I brought an extra, because normally like 4 would be enough, but no, we're gonna bring an extra book, and they're all gonna be thick, so there shouldn't be any reasons that I should like run out. Like, it should last me just the right amount of time. These are the books that we're finishing up our February TBR, guys. These are the books that I'm gonna read for February. We have Dragonfall. I mentioned this before in the book haul, but essentially it is about dragons, and they were betrayed by humans. We have this chosen dragon who is to save their race, but in order to do so, they have to trick the human who awakened them. And it's probably gonna be some romance, and it's probably gonna be between the two, and some kind of you tried to kill me, you were trying to use me, and then they get back together and happy end ever after. Something like that, probably. We have the Kingdom of Copper. Guys, because it had been some time since I had read City of Brass, I was like, well, this thing was really that good. Like, do I need to read the next book? And then I started reading a few pages just to get me pumped. And I was like, nah, I need this right now. Like, literally yesterday or the day before. Yeah, the day before, because technically today is the yesterday for me. Anyway, and I read this. I really wanted to read this book. I really wanted to read this book. But I said, no, you're saving this for your trip, okay? Because I already made Conform the priority, so I have to finish Conform. Because when I read this, I want to take my time. Like, the reason I'm rushing through all the books is so that I can, because these are still more of the books that I haven't gotten to yet, but they're here because I think that I will like them. I did read a few pages, and the writing seemed cool, enthralled me, especially with the many. When I come back from my trip, I'm gonna try and get to Quicksilver so that I know if I can just stick with the audiobook or the physical book. These are basically the TBRs for the next 2 months, like I said. That's what I had meant when I was saying, like, I just read like 1 page, if even, like a paragraph. I swear it wasn't even that many. It was like really like a couple of words that I saw between Nasiri, the older brother, and I was like, oh yeah, hell no, I need to read this. So that's what I mean, how like I read ahead to try and get me pumped, and it keeps me reading. This did not do that at all. The following is The Second Death of Locke. Something about a girl being bonded to this guy, but she has a secret. In order to save him, she might have to reveal her secret, but he might hate her for that secret. I think she might be some secret love child, not of his family, but like of some bloodline that's like really powerful, that's supposed to have died out. Maybe she's nobility or something of that effect. I don't remember. We'll see when I read the book, okay? Then we have Nautica. To my understanding, this is just my own personal opinion, it's like Gothica, but with fantasy in it. This girl goes to this fantasy school, but there's also a hot guy, and the hot guy happens to be her teacher. That's it. Yeah, you see, that's why I brought an extra book, just in case I read one of these books and I don't like it. I don't know if I can... Guys, you see how big this book is? This is 600 pages, 595 pages. What book needs to be that long about a school romance? I don't know. It's better be good. Listen, I do not think I'm going to like this book. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm gonna read this and get bored, which is why I bought an extra book just in case, okay? I don't know how I feel about this. We'll see, all right? After all, we're just here for the ride. Then we have this one. I think this is also another popular book, Arcana Academy. I also am not too sure if I'm gonna like this book. It's also a thick book too. Like, it's basically this girl becomes like a contract marriage, but they're not married yet. It's like fiance of this guy who runs a school. She goes to the school. I hope I like it. I hope. I want to like these books, guys. I'm not trying to be difficult. I want to like these books, okay? Because imagine if I bring 2 books that I don't want to read, then I literally only have 3 books to read for my trip. What do I do for the rest of the days that I'm there? Like, be on my phone? Hello? And then our last book is Glint. The following guild. There was like a bit of a cliffhanger being like, yeah, I know what you are too. And you're like, oh, whoa. So can't wait to see how it goes, to see how our main character grows. All right, guys, this is technically my February TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books. Yo, hopefully we get to it. And we didn't even include Quicksilver, which is like up there somewhere. We already read all of these. Now we just gotta read all of these. So yeah, guys, that is the end of this video. I have all these books on me now. I will see you in the next video, which is literally gonna be like the next 10 seconds as I record the next one. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and ciao.